Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are doing a collab, actually. Brooke's Animal Kingdom, formerly known as Amethyst Herd, and I thought it would be a great idea to group together a bunch of commonly asked questions and just compare our responses with each other. And when you hear these questions, you can answer these questions along with us and compare your response compared to ours, and it would be just so fascinating to see how many of us either think alike or have different opinions, but not necessarily mean that we are any better than the other. So without further ado, let's popcorn right into this video. So if you see me look down, my questions are right here. So question number one is, if you could go back in time knowing about how guinea pigs, if you could go back in time knowing about guinea pigs, what you know now, would you still own them? Absolutely. In fact, my very first pair of guinea pigs I owned 9 years ago, back in 2015, almost 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. And they used to be kept in a small pet store cage. And I remember at that point in time starting to do a little bit of research, watching not really watching videos, but I would Google information and it would bring me to a YouTube video or something. So I would watch it. In fact, I believe that is when I very first came across Scotty's animals. But back then, I had found out that, guinea pigs do require more space. They had required fresh vegetables, things like that. Just small little things that would still make a huge difference in the guinea pig's life. And I remember at the time when I told my late husband about it, he told me that it was just all propaganda and that people were just trying to make more money out of us, this and that. Now, don't get me wrong, my late husband was an animal lover to the top notch. However, he had different beliefs than I did, and that is okay. That is okay. But it had come to the point where we had 3 kids as well, and then we had other pets as well, and we ended up I made that decision that we were going to rehome the bunny that we had, and we were going to rehome the guinea pigs, because we weren't able to come to a compromise to offer these animals the most optimal life that they deserve. He did not want to purchase all these fresh vegetables to feed to the animals, let alone the fact knowing that we had to offer fresh veggies and healthy foods for our children. So I, at the time, rehomed the guinea pigs because I decided, it's just not in the cards for us. So knowing all that I know now, back then, would I still own them? Yes. It would not change. I might not own as many as I have right now, but I would definitely still own them. Number 2, what is the hardest part about owning guinea pigs? So for me, I think the hardest part about owning guinea pigs is the transportation to get to an exotics vet. Not every city and town has an exotics vet available, and sometimes you will have to travel out of town, like an hour or 2 distance, to get to an exotics vet. And these are things you need to consider before bringing guinea pigs home. In my situation, we had an exotics vet that was much closer, but that exotics vet decided to stop working where they were at that office, and they moved out east and opened up their own clinic. So it wasn't something that I had control over for me, but that is definitely one of the hardest things, I believe, is because when guinea pigs do fall ill, they can go downhill very quick, and you want to be able to have an established relationship with an exotics vet. You want to ensure that you have transportation available, whether it's, by bus, taxi, or finding a friend that'll drive you. You want to have all of those things in place, planned out, so that you're not last minute running into a situation of, oh, okay, I need to call however many different vets, find out who takes guinea pigs to begin with, and then you don't have enough time to, do the research to find out who's qualified enough, who's had the most optimal experience with these animals, and then let alone finding a ride, and then trying to coincide all that together. It's very challenging and difficult. So that would be what's difficult for me. The third question is, what's the one thing you like the most about guinea pigs? I think it's very hard to choose just one thing. I think what I like most about guinea pigs is the fact that they are so full of love, compacted into just a small little animal. And that you can contain them in a enclosure, and you can make it as big or as big as you want. I'm not going to say as small as you want because there is minimum space, which we'll touch base on later. Oh, ties into my next question I have written down here. What size cage do 2 guinea pigs need? Okay, so if you are basing it off of SPCA standards, you're going to see that that would be an 8 square foot cage. So that would be like a Midwest guinea pig habitat, which is based off of, what would it be measurement wise, 24 by 48 inches. Or if you're using like CNC grids from like Cavi cages, then the minimum, bare minimum would be a 2 by 3, which would give you 8 square feet. Now, I personally would prefer giving one size up from that for 2 guinea pigs. If we are talking about male guinea pigs, they can be space territorial, so I would try to offer a little bit more space if you're able to. But when it comes to male guinea pigs, their bond is really, really based on personality. It can become a little bit more complex to understand, so we will have to touch base on that in another video. But bare minimum, 8 square feet, preferred 10 square feet. How do you develop a bond with your guinea pigs and get them to trust you? So as most of you hopefully know, and if you don't, you will now know, guinea pigs are considered prey animals. So what does that mean? A prey animal versus a predator. So a cat is a predator. A dog is a predator. A bird is a predator. It means that they are known as a prey animal. They are known to run and hide and seek shelter. There are ways that you can bond with your guinea pig to earn trust, but it could take a long time. It really depends on the guinea pig. So what I personally do when I first get a guinea pig, I will have they're set up like this. For example, I will make videos or just, do audio, text to people so that the guinea pig or guinea pigs, in this case guinea pig, because this cage may pass, but I will just kind of sit here and talk so that they can get used to the sound of my voice. I will have treats around, all kinds of different treats. Usually I start off with a big carrot. I will move myself in front of their cage, and I will just sit here, kind of let them get used to my scent, my presence. When I do their cleaning, the only thing I'm going to do is cleaning their cage, feeding them. I am not going to try and immediately go to pick them up on day one. I will give them a day or so to kind of decompress. And I will hold them. I will hand feed them, but not all of them will take the food right away. Did I disturb your nap? I'm sorry. So that is what I do to bond with my guinea pigs. I will have like a big carrot and just hold it there, or it could be a piece of a big leaf lettuce, or lettuce leaf, or a celery stalk, whatever it might be. It doesn't mean they're going to eat it right away, but they will still get used to you holding it there. And at first, you're going to want to do it through the cage. You're not going to want to have your hand inside. For the first day or so, maybe try from the outside. Now, if you're someone that doesn't have an issue with balance or anything like that, you can just have a little bit of food or something enticing in your hand and just put your hand down in the cage. Keep it as still as possible. Eventually, your guinea pigs will get curious and they will come and sniff you out. So those are my tips on how you can bond with your guinea pig. There are definitely many more tips and tricks up the sleeve, and that we can touch base on in another video someday. So our next question is, do guinea pigs have to be kept in pairs? Okay, so I'm glad we touched base on this one. So guinea pigs will absolutely thrive better in pairs or more. So when it comes to female guinea pigs, you can have more than just 2. You can have larger herds of 3, 4, 5, or more. It is easier for females to bond together than it is for males, but that doesn't mean that females don't have falling outs. Males generally, from personal experience, do best in pairs. However, I have heard situations where people have had males in trios or more, and it has worked out. But you want to make sure you have optimal space available for them if you're going to do that. Now, there are going to be situations in life where you end up with a single guinea pig. So you're going to see two names up on that name sign. Unfortunately, Mateo's cage mate, Miguel, passed away. That leaves him by himself. Now, he is not fully living by himself within this entire house, because I do have other guinea pigs in another room that he can still hear and kind of talk to from a distance. Now, sometimes you will have a guinea pig in this kind of situation, but they do thrive better with a cage mate or a bar buddy. So eventually he will probably get another friend, and if they don't successfully bond, then they will live side by side, where I can have like the separation grid in the middle, and they will still be able to like sniff each other, touch noses, and so forth. So do I think that guinea pigs have to have or be kept in pairs? I'm going to say they will thrive better. There are always going to be an exception to the rule of thumb on that. Next question is, are guinea pigs easy pets? Now, that is a very broad question. So, are guinea pigs easy pets? That is too broad of a question. Are we talking, are they easy pets in general? Are they easy pets for children? Like, there's no specifics on this question. So, I'm going to try and sum it up as briefly as I can. Sorry, I got distracted. I would have to say that it really depends on your lifestyle. So for example, if you choose to use fleece liners as your substrate, there is going to be more tedious work involved. So on that aspect, no, it's not necessarily easier or easy, but at the same time, it is not difficult. So for someone like me, I have 11 guinea pigs, 4 different cages. It takes me a total of 1 hour to do a full clean or spot clean, and that includes refilling water bottles, washing water bottles, refilling pellet bowls, restocking their hay, and so forth. So it takes an hour out of my day to do that. It's not really a lot. So if you only have 2 guinea pigs or maybe 3 guinea pigs with only 1 cage, easy peasy, yeah. But I would compare it as saying easy peasy. But someone like you, who maybe has a full-time job outside the home, family, like children in the home and other animals to care for, then it might not be as easy. If you choose to use a disposable bedding and you only have 1 cage to worry about, then yeah, it's going to be easier to maintain, other than your weekly full cage clean out, or even with disposable bedding, you still should do a daily spot clean in the most soiled spots and stuff, like under water bottles, under hides, and things like that. So it can really vary. They're not, I wouldn't say they're easy pets, but they are not hard either. I think the only hard part is being able to detect illness before it gets too serious, and again, ensuring that you have an established exotics vet and transportation. Our next question is, do guinea pigs bite? Guinea pigs are not known biters, to be honest. In my experience with the many guinea pigs I've had over the last 4 years, I think only 1 has ever bitten me, but they never drew blood. So I don't consider it a bite. I consider it a warning nibble that I was doing something that made them uncomfortable, or I smelt of something that they didn't like, or I smelt of something that they really liked and thought I was food. Our next question is, how often should you weigh your guinea pigs? So if your guinea pigs are fully healthy, no issues. I would say try and weigh them once a week. Keep track of it in a notebook, such as I have here. The best way to know if a guinea pig is falling ill, one of the true tail signs, is if they lose 100 grams or more, or if they gain 100 grams or more in such a short period of time. And the reason I bring up the weight gain factor is because if you have a female guinea pig, or just even a male guinea pig, and they gain that much weight excessively in like just a couple of days, there could be a medical problem, such as like a mass growing on the inside that you don't know about. Or if it's a female, maybe they got pregnant and you didn't know about it. And there's always like situations that can arise. And so yeah, it's important to take note of your guinea pig's weight at least once a week and so forth. Our final question is, what is a mistake you have made with your guinea pigs that you would want to not see other owners make? A mistake that I've made that I don't want other owners to make. Okay, I would have to say not having an established exotics vet in transportation. Now, my advice to everyone would be is to have more than one established exotics vet that you can bring your guinea pigs to. If one happens to be out of town, not working, called in sick, or something happens and you can't get a hold of your primary exotics vet, it's important to have a backup, and then even a third backup. That is something that I would want to see others do that I, unfortunately, am not able to do, no matter how much I try. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we will see you again next time. Until then, bye for now!
Welcome back, or welcome to Brooke's Animal Kingdom if this is your first time here. My name is Brooke, and we are currently in my bedroom for the first time, I think, ever. But this was the best place to do a video, so, okay, let's get started. This video is going to be a Q&A collab with Fitz Guinea Vision. Their channel will be in the description. Make sure and go show them some love because they are amazing. A very good friend of mine. One of my best friends. So go show them some love. And let's get started. I will attempt, to put text on the screen at the bottom for each question. So if you want to answer the question yourself in the comments, feel free to do so. We would love to get everybody else's perspective as well. So let's get started. Yeah. Oh, and if you see me looking on my phone, that is because I am looking at the questions. Because I'm here to tell you, my memory is not that crazy. So let's go, and let's dive in. So our first question is, if you could go back in time, knowing about guinea pigs, what you know now, would you still own them? This was a question that somebody asked me. And I never answered it to that person because it is a very deep question that deserves an equally well thought out answer. Now, when I started with guinea pigs, I only had one. I had Chloe, who I still have. She's now 5 years old. And she was in one of those little pet store cages, you know, the ones I tell you guys not to use. So, after I got her, I started watching videos and found out guinea pigs should have friends. So I got Cookie. Cookie was also in a little cage because I hadn't gotten that far into my research yet. I kind of jumped the gun on that one. So they were side by side in little cages. And then I started watching videos from Scotty's Animals. Squeak Dreams was a big one that I found. Saskia at the LA Guinea Pig Rescue, which all led me, ironically, to finding Fitz Guinea Vision, which is what led me to be friends with Leah. But that's a story for another time. Anyways, I started watching the videos on how, because I wanted to know how to properly bond guinea pigs. I was assuming you don't just toss them in together and hope for the best. I was right. And, I found out they needed a bigger cage. So, my first appropriate cage was the Midwest guinea pig habitat. As you know, I now have 9 guinea pigs, 7 of which are in a 2x19 cage. So back to the question. Knowing if I knew then what I know now about guinea pigs, would I own them? Yes. I love guinea pigs. They are a passion. I love them dearly. They are amazing little pets with so much to offer. However, I would not own as many as I do. Because now I know how expensive the vet bills really are and how expensive everything is. And not even just the expenses, how much work it is to keep up with so many guinea pigs. Now, I love each and every one of my babies with all of my heart and soul. But if I knew then what I know now, I would only own maybe 3 or 4, not 9. Next question. If I can remember the passcode. What is the hardest part about owning guinea pigs? I'm going to do 2 for this one. First part. Vet care is expensive. Very expensive. And guinea pigs get sick. They hide it. And when they actually start showing it, they go downhill hard. And they go downhill fast. Leah, when guinea pigs get sick and they hide the symptoms. They're prey animals. It's a thing with them. In the wild, that would be how they survive. Because to not hide it would be death. So that is ingrained in them. So when they get sick, they can go downhill extremely quickly. And fast action is key. So you need to be able to get them to a vet quick and in a hurry. And my vet is fortunately very good. She's only a half-hour away, which is great. But affording the vet bills, as well as affording other life's normal stuff like rent and bills, it's hard. That's one of the hard parts. The other hard part goes along with it. The loss. Guinea pigs only live max 8 years. There are some that live longer. Leah herself has a 10-year-old guinea pig. I believe that's Marley. Marley, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Leah. But usually they live 6 to 8 years, somewhere in there. And the loss is really hard. You get attached over this ultimately short time, because 8 years isn't that long. You get very attached. You're caring for this animal every day, pouring your heart and soul into caring for this creature and making it as happy as can be, to hope to make it as happy as it being there and it being your baby makes you. For them to ultimately one day pass on, it's inevitable. It's part of life. But it is hard. And it does not get easier no matter how many times you go through it. No matter how many different ways it happens. It doesn't get easier. We learn to deal with it. We learn to cope with it. It's just an unfortunate reality of owning any pet. They don't live forever. Unless you get a parrot, they might outlive you. But that's my answer for that question. Next question is, what's the one thing you like most about guinea pigs? That one's hard. I like everything about guinea pigs, except for, the sickness and going downhill quick. That's not a fun part. What do I like most about guinea pigs? It's gotta be the noises. Every day, every morning when I come home, the first thing I hear, other than my dog barking, is week, 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 week. And little zoomies and popcorns through the cage. And it's like the most amazing thing. Like, I can have a horrible day at work. My butt is dragging when I get home at 7 o'clock in the morning. But as soon as I walk in that room and I see them zooming and popcorning and winking at me, I am revitalized. Because I am so happy that they are happy that I'm here. And that is such a great feeling. Like, I can't put into words how amazing of a feeling that is. Same with any pet that greets you when you come home. Sterling greets me when I get home. Eva greets me when I get home. They are amazing. But the guinea pigs and the weeks and the squeaks and the Rumble King cloud, the noises are amazing. What size cage do 2 guinea pigs need? Okay, so are we talking about 2 females or 2 males? My answer will vary dependent. If we're going on a 14-inch grid system, that's CNC grids, 2 females would require, in my opinion, a 2x4 cage and no less. So that is, let's do the math real quick. Calculator. Calculator, calculator, calculator. Calculator, calculator. So we have 4 grids times 14. That would be 56 inches long by 28 inches wide for 2 females. Now for 2 males, I would suggest a 2x5, if not bigger. Because males can be territorial. The males are territorial. And they are more territorial than females. You technically should only ever have 2 males together. Because it gets a little iffy after that. Because then you run the chance of adding in a 3rd male. They fight and then you end up with 3 single guinea pigs. Nobody wants that. Anyways, that's a topic for another video. 2 males should have at least a 2x5, which is 70 inches long by 28 inches wide. Now that's the minimum. I always say, if you can go bigger, go bigger. Bigger is better. Now on to the next question. Develop a bond with your guinea pigs and get them to trust you. That's a good one. So, every guinea pig's an individual, just like every person is an individual. They all have likes, they all have dislikes. Some guinea pigs will never like being handled, but you still have to be able to do it in order to check their health and well-being. And in order to get them to the vet and weigh them once a week. So, what I do is, let's take Calypso for instance, my newest guinea pig. She came home, first day or 2, I just let her relax in her cage, get used to the layout next to the herd, get the smells, get the scents, kind of acclimate to her surroundings. Then, I started sticking carrots, lettuce leaves, celery stalks, stuff like that, through the bars of the cage to try to entice her to come over and investigate. Or I would put some pea flakes or some rolled oats in the palm of my hand and just lay my hand flat on the cage and not move my hand. Eventually, she came over to investigate because guinea pigs are inherently curious creatures. And if there's food, they're going to find it and they're going to be interested. I'm here to tell you, food is your friend when it comes to guinea pigs. Bonding with your guinea pig is something that takes patience, time, and understanding. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. I have guinea pigs that I have had over a year now that still run for me when I go to pick them up. In fact, I can officially say every guinea pig I own runs for me when I go to pick them up. But some of them, once I have picked them up and they are cuddled into my chest, they realize, oh, it's okay. I'm safe. It's just that act of being picked up because it mimics being scooped up by a bird of prey that scares them. So bonding with your guinea pig should be taken slowly, gradually. Do not rush it. Go at their pace. Respect their boundaries. I cannot say that enough. Respect their boundaries. I have people who come to me seeking help for bonding with their guinea pigs, and they're like, well, they don't want me to touch them, and I'm going to force it anyways. No. You're just going to reverse all the work you've done. If you do that, they're going to see, I can't trust this person. I feel threatened. I need to hide. Take it at their pace. Take it slow. Utilize food. because that's one of the biggest things to guinea pigs, and respect their boundaries. Next question. Do guinea pigs have to be kept in pairs? Okay. Anybody who knows me and has watched my channel knows I had Clover, who was a single guinea pig, and I have Cinnamon, who's a single guinea pig. Now, guinea pigs are social animals. They benefit from the social interaction of their own kind. Girls can be kept in groups. Males can be kept in pairs. They benefit from each other. They benefit from smelling, from chittering at each other, shutting at each other, and making all kinds of noises, rumbling at each other. Basically, social interaction. I'm going to tell you a story. When I got Cloud, I got him from a pet store over a year ago now. He was very sick, so he was by himself for a very long time. He was by himself, getting better for one, and then once he was better, I got him neutered, because I didn't have any other boys at that point in time. So I got him neutered, and he went with Crystal and Cora once the 6-week wait period after the neuter was over. I have never, ever seen a happier guinea pig in my life. He went from being a docile, scared, meek little guinea pig to Rumble King Dingaling. He was running around the cage, he was popcorning, he was eating his pellets, he was eating veggies for the first time ever. He did not eat veggies until he saw those girls eating veggies. He did not drink from a water bottle. He refused. I had to give him a bowl. He did not drink from a water bottle until he saw the girls doing it. They learned from each other. The girls taught him how to properly guinea pig. And it was amazing to watch. So do guinea pigs need to be kept in pairs? Guinea pigs should have a friend, be it a cage mate or a bar buddy. Cinnamon can smell, hear, and he is aware all the other guinea pigs are in the room. He's only by himself because 1, he's too old to be neutered, and 2, he has some health conditions that are easier for me to monitor if he's by himself. Clover, I tried to bond with multiple guinea pigs, even the herd, and it never worked out. She enjoyed her own space, but she did like interacting through the cage bars with Cora. She would sniff Cora, her and Cora would squeak at each other and talk and socialize. So she still got that social interaction by having a bar buddy. So yes, guinea pigs should be kept with a friend, or at least have bar buddies. It benefits them so greatly. And some people don't realize it because they get one guinea pig and they think, oh, they're happy. They seem happy. They're eating. They're running around. They're happy. But are they? Or is it just because they don't know anything else? I guarantee if you have a lone guinea pig and you get it a bar buddy or a cage mate and you successfully bond for the cage mate or just sit them side by side for grip mates, you will see a difference in your guinea pig. Next question. Are guinea pigs easy pets? This is a loaded question because it all depends on your personal perception. I don't think they're hard. The hardest part about it is having the knowledge to notice when something is wrong. That's the hardest part about owning guinea pigs to me. One of the hardest parts. That ties into the other question. But the cleaning and everything else is easy for me. And it also depends on other things, like your lifestyle. Like if you work so many hours a week, you have kids, other pets, a family to take care of, yeah, I suppose they could be a little hard to take care of. But if you're like me, it's just me, my husband. Yes, I work 40 hours a week, if not more. And I do have a bunny and a dog. But the bunny, very minimal care is needed. They're very clean compared to guinea pigs. And my dog, she's pretty much self-reliant. So the guinea pigs, easy peasy. Clean them out once a week, spot clean every day. It also will depend on the substrate you use. It's even less work if you're using shavings because, well, yes, you will have to spot clean every day. You don't have to go through, vacuum out each and every poop, remove wet pads. You just gotta take out the soiled shavings, put in a little bit of new. Easy peasy. Like I said, depends on perception, lifestyle, substrate, and stuff like that. Do guinea pigs bite? You see that? that right there? Yeah. Corey did that. Now, guinea pigs will not bite for no reason. Guinea pigs are not aggressive animals. They are docile creatures. They prefer to run and hide rather than enter an altercation. They are small. They have very little defenses, but one of their defenses is their teeth. It is their only defense. Now, if they feel cornered, terrified, and don't have a place to run to, yes, they will bite. If they're in pain, and you're handling them, they may bite you. Now, they will give little nips to let you know, hey, what you're doing is not okay. Or, hey, I gotta pee, and if you don't put me down, you're about to become very wet. Or some just give little love nips. It's their way of grooming. But biting is not an inherent guinea pig trait. If your guinea pig is biting, there is a reason, and you should try to figure out what that reason is. Are they in pain? Are they sick? Are you making them uncomfortable? Are you doing something that is overstepping their boundaries, and you need to pull back a little bit? Investigate the issue. Like this? This happened because I was trying to check Cora's molars with my little tool, and I put my finger too close to her mouth, and she was like, yeah, I don't like what you're doing. I'm taking your fingertip. See? She didn't like it. She let me know about it. And it is very painful. If you're ever bitten by a guinea pig, make sure, as soon as you are bitten, you go and clean it out. You go and put some antibiotic cream on it, because any animal's mouth is going to carry bacteria. Quick pro tip there. Okay, next question. How often should you weigh your guinea pigs? Okay, so, if we're talking a healthy guinea pig, I say once a week. Weigh your guinea pig once a week. If we're talking a guinea pig who is not doing well, not feeling well, daily to every other day. Just to make sure they are not drastically losing weight. Because weight loss, excessive weight loss over 100 grams, or excessive weight gain over 100 grams can be your best indicator that you need to get to a vet. Something is not right with your guinea pig. Yes, that's my answer for that question. Last question. What is a mistake you have made with your pigs that you would want not to see other owners make? Knowing when it's time to say goodbye. So a lot of you are aware that we lost Clover on September 8th. She was very sick. She got sick on, I think it was Monday? I believe it was Monday. Took her to the vet. The vet said she's very uncomfortable in her area around her bladder. Gave her some meds. Asked for a urine test. I took the urine test back. There was blood in her urine. There was no stone or anything. Over the next... Sorry, my dog's going inside. Over the next week... Hi?
Hi.
Want to say hi?
Hi.
Over the next week, she went downhill very quickly. And she ended up... What are you doing?
Trying to get past you.
Why don't you say something? Over the next week, she went downhill very quickly. To that day on the 8th. I fed her when I got home. Put her back in her cage. When my husband took her out to feed her around noon, I'd say, right? She would not take the food. She was just letting it run out of her mouth, basically, which is never a good sign with guinea pigs. That's pretty much a sign of, I give up. I'm not fighting anymore. So he brought her into me, and she laid in my arms for a bit. Well, I noticed her doing this weird twitching thing. Anyways, long story short, I'm not going to get into the gritty parts of it. She died in my arms. So what I would do differently, one mistake I would not want any other owner to make is knowing when to say goodbye. Because when I went back after she was gone and looked at the pictures of her from the day before, she was puffed up. She was seriously uncomfortable and in pain. That is the moment that I should have realized it was time to say goodbye. And I didn't. I was in denial. I didn't realize... I think part of me realized it, but another part of me was in denial, like, no, we can still turn this around. So, knowing the signs is only half the battle. Accepting the signs when you see them is the other part. Anyways, that was our last question. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate all of you. Until next time, guys, stay happy and stay healthy. Bye.